Hey everyone, welcome to this tutorial, and if you can't guess by the title and the words wrote in front of you, today is going to be a Mother's Day themed tutorial. I'm going to show you how to write mum, mom and mother. So I would suggest using a 1mm/18 gauge wire. However, I do also use a 6mm, which will be 22 gauge, and a 0.8, which would be a 20 gauge, just to show you. And also I do mention I'm pretty much out of my 1mm that I've been using, and until someone can get another roll out of my stash for me, just had to use what was to hand. So this is the tutorial, so if you're interested in seeing how I created these pieces, then keep on watching. So to begin with, I'm going to show you how to write mum, and this is the British way of saying it. There's also a northern way, which is mam, and then there's the American way of mom, but we're going with mum here. So we're going to take a full 30 centimetres, and then we begin with our round nose pliers. We can move this out of the way for now. So we're going to begin by creating a loop. This will be the loop that the chain attaches to. Okay, and we are going to go from the bottom of the loop. So this technically isn't part of the wire work, it's just there for attaching. So from here we're going to go, sorry, forgive me, 2 centimetres is here. So I'm going to go in at this point and go around, and then I'm going to take my pliers and squeeze that together, and then straighten it back up. Okay, and then we're going to bring it back, and then, because like I say, this isn't technically part of the wire, so we're going to go here and we're going to start to create the top of the M, like so. And then we're going to go from where the bridge, the arch, whatever you want to call it, shape ends, back to where we go straight. We're going to go 1/2 centimetre down, and then put our pliers in again. And we're going to squeeze once more. Each time remembering to straighten it back up, and then just using our fingers again, we're going to create that second part of the loop. Now it's up to you if you go straight down or if you want to go in and maybe give it a little bit more detail. It's up to you, but I'm going to do that. Now at this point will be where you either wrote the O, the U or the A. I'm doing the U for the English version here, so I'm going to sharpen that up. I'm not going to come as high, I'm going to do it to where the bottom of the M is. That's where I'm going to do the top of the U. Now because of where the pliers went, obviously it goes slightly over, but it looks good, don't worry. You can be precise about this if you want, but personally I prefer it a little bit more freehand. Okay, and then we want to do the U, the bottom of the U, basically in line here, and then we're going to do the top in the exact same way we did here. We're going to go in. Normally when you're doing this you want to you want to create this loop as tight, so you'd be inclined to go right near the edge of the pliers, but I find it easier just to do it where I'm comfortable on the pliers and then squeeze it together. You don't have to do that, but it's something I've found to be quite helpful. Okay, and then going back down, we're just going to do that here. What I'm doing this time is I'm going to make the M come closer so that this doesn't look like a separate U. We want this to obviously be a letter U. So I'm bringing this here, and then we're going to do the second M. Same way we did on the other one, you can, you know, measure up the 2 centimetres and then, you know, the exact half a centimetre from the end of the bridge, but I'm just doing it a bit more freehand from eye, but that is how I would do it if I was doing it perfect. Okay, and then using my fingers again, I'm going to bring this back around, and in the same way we did here, we are going to, now it's up to you if you want this to be straight or again have a bit of extra detail. It's entirely up to you. This is the point where if you're going to do anything else, you know, do it now. And the bottom is going to be here. So, and then again, I'm going to squeeze. Okay, and then we've got a little bit extra here, but it also gives you, you know, that little bit of extra leeway if you didn't do these as tight, or if you you know, went a bit over on any of your measurements. Just having that little bit extra there is helpful. And then that will just be, I'm gonna put this here, the remaining part of the loop. So literally when we finish, it's not even a full centimetre we've got left over, but again, it just gives you that little bit of extra leeway if you need it. Oh. Okay guys, and that is how we do mum. So next I am going to show you how to do mom. So again, I am going to take 30 centimetres. I'm using a different colour wire, the only reason being I am running very low on this silver wire here, and I'm not even sure I've got a full 30 centimetres left of that at the moment without taking it off the reel. So I'm just using a different colour here, and this is actually a different gauge. Still use 1 mil. You can probably get away with 0.8 as well, but just for showing you guys the tutorial, this is what I'm going to do. So we're going to start it in the exact same way we did with, sorry, I've got some wire, rogue wire on my desk. Exactly the same. The M on both sides will be exactly the same, guys. The only difference is going to be that we put an O in the middle. And if you want to see mam, if you happen to be a northerner, or do they say mam in America? I've only ever heard northerners say it, to be honest. But let me know. What else do you, what do you call your mum? Do you just call her mum, mom, mummy, mother? What do you call her? Let me know. Comment down below. So yeah, again, we do the 2 centimetres from that point. I'm just going to do it a bit quicker because I just literally showed you how I do the M. So okay, so now we've got our M, and what we're going to do is, it's actually easier to do this with your fingers, but you could use, say, bail making pliers or something round like a pen or something like that. I assume this would be even easier if we had, if anyone saw the Wirework jig that I did, but that turned out to be a terrible tool that was not good, but the idea was good. But say you had a metal one, which I assume would be better quality, this would be really easy to do on a metal jig, a wire jig, sorry. Yep, so we've just done the O. All we did was go up, round, and come through here. You could hammer this, you could weave this, or you could leave it exactly as it is. It's up to you. Okay, so now we've done the O, what we're going to do is come down here, and then we're going to, with our pliers, come down to the bottom part and do the rest of the M the same way that we've done it previously. Over, and with the pliers again, up, squeeze it together. Like I said, I'm using a different gauge, so this definitely doesn't have the strength and resistance that a 1mm has, which is why I suggest a 1mm. But this is just what I have to hand until I get my other wires out. Slash, I can get someone to do that for me because I'm physically not capable. Yeah, so bear with me about the wire gauge, guys. But obviously, this is just the tutorial. So yeah, then we're going to go in again and finish it off. And then cut. Close that up, and then that would be where you would attach the wire. So that's how you would do mom. So we've got mum and mom, and now we are going to do mother. Now this is how I've done it. I am going to do the R slightly different in this version, just a heads up. I wasn't too happy with that in the end. And the best way I could do the T, I tried several different versions, and this turned out to be like the best of bad bunch. So this is my favourite version of mother. Again, we've got the same M, O, and instead of going up, down, that was the quickest way to do the T. Obviously, I'm also thinking about your dexterity. If you don't have dexterity issues, obviously it's probably not going to be something you consider. But yeah, so this is what we're going to do for mother. So I'm going to move these out of the way. Now, obviously 3 letters was 30 centimetres. We're doing twice as much. So, and when I did it, I just did it off the reel. So I've kind of just guesstimated the amounts. So I'm going to take 60 centimetres. And I'm going to use, for this one, I'm going to be using a 0.8 that I happen to have on my desk. So that's what we're going to use for this. Okay, so I would use a 1mm, but I think I can get away with a 0.8. The 0.6 was too flimsy, but again, I was just using that for what I had to hand immediately whilst my 1mm has run out, and I do have more 1mm. I just it's packed away and physically I can't get that out. Just for those that don't know, I'm disabled through illness, so I can't, you know, get into the box and pick it out. So I'm taking 60 centimetres. If this does end up being less than that, I'll correct it at the end. That's just what I'm taking right now. But it will be wrote in, like I'll put a little box now that says if I use less. Okay, so we're going to be taking again our round nose pliers, or you can use your bail making. Those are interchangeable. I'm just using these because everyone generally has a pair of these. So we're starting in the exact same way again, where we create the loop. Now, I'm going to say this straight off. The resistance of a 1mm is better. So I'm using a 0.8 for this, but straight away, just knowing the strength I needed in the wire, I think a 1mm is better. So you can use a 0.8 if you want, and if that's what you have, but I would hammer it or weave over it, or, you know, just do something else. So we're going to do the exact same way we did the M before, but assuming you haven't seen that part of the tutorial. So we go underneath and then we go down 2 centimetres. And then we come back up over, we squeeze that together. Has anyone got any plans for Mother's Day? What have you got your mums? Anything special? Or are you taking them somewhere? Is it going to be an experience or going out for lunch? Or what are you guys doing? Let me know. I doubt my mum's going to watch this, so I bought her some makeup. Because I mean, she has makeup, but a lot of it like wasn't the right shade and stuff, so or it didn't suit her skin. Her skin's changed a lot through hormones and stuff like that, so I bought her some Benefit. It was like a little set. It had a foundation and powder and something else, which I know she'll like, so obviously you buy your mum things for Mother's Day that she'll like. I told my siblings to get her some flowers. Well, one of my siblings. The other one I don't know what they're going to get. So there's the M. We're going to come down. Again, go in with our pliers. And we're going to do the O. I'm going to do it in the exact same way we just did for Mom. So I'm just going to use my fingers and then, you know, if you can go around something that's cylindrical, is that the word? It's a bit late in the day. Oh, it's very late in the day, it's like 10 PM. But I have a messed up sleeping pattern, so. Oh, that was silly, Kayleigh. I tried to put it on the bottom thing and then ended up going one below it. Right, there we go. Okay. So we've got the M-O. Okay, so we've done the M and the O, and now we're going to do the T. So what I did was went over and decided where the end of the next letter would be. I went in, and again I squeezed that. Okay, and then gone in, gone up, and then I squeezed that again just to bring it back in. Okay, I'm going to go to the top, and it's up to you at this point. You can go forward and bring it down if you want, or you can go behind, whichever you prefer. I'm going to try and do it the other way just because I did it the opposite one for that version, and now I'm kind of curious to see how it looks. Okay, so we've got the T. Now we're going to do the H. And I'm very much doing this by eye, looking where it is, but if you want, you know, feel free to measure it. So I'm going to go up 2 centimetres to the top of the H. I probably went up a bit too high on that T, so I might just bring it down a bit. And then just that, so that pull it over a bit, just so it's not quite so high. Okay, and then 2 centimetres, we need to go from there. Okay, so it's about here. Okay, Now if you want, you can go down and then you can come back up, or at this point you could just go out and over. I'm going to do it the other way, just so that, so on that one you would have gone up, back, and then round. Here you would have just done that and then gone to just below the bottom of the T and then come out. We're going to do it the other way just because I've already shown one example there, so why not show another here. Okay, let's squeeze that as much as possible. Okay, and then we're going to go in across from the bottom of there, and then as if it's kicking, like with a cursive, we're going to do that. And then for the E, we're going to try and get that straight. Okay, and what we're actually going to do is here, I'm going to switch from flat nose to my chain nose because it's slightly rounded on the outside. So it creates that rounder shape just there. Then we can pull it over. So we've got our E. So yeah, you can see it's slightly different, but the detail, you know, I think I prefer the way I've done the H there to there. I think it's obviously more of a H here than it was initially, and the T, no, it's not really a huge difference, but that kind of looks a bit more like squiggly handwriting to me. So for the R, I said I was going to do it different this time, didn't I? So I would start it here and go up to the same point. Okay, and then just be careful of the wire doing that. Okay, and in the same way we did with the H, I'm just going to come back up on the same part. Again, I'm just going to squeeze this closed, straighten it back up, and then turn that top bit with our fingers again into an R, and at this point I'm going to kick it out. So it's obvious it's an R. As you can see, if we were to put the circle here, it wouldn't be quite in line, so it would be lopsided if you did choose to attach that to a chain. Now you could simply fix this just by, you know, putting this like this, pulling it up a bit and then putting the loop up there, or we could take this opportunity to put something else in here because we've got this bit extra. So just for mother, and then say we did the loop, it'd take us to there. So just for the mother by itself, we actually used 40 centimetres, which I'm confused about. Why did 3 take up 30 and double that amount? Who knows? Okay, so yeah, we're going to do something else here. So it's up to you guys how you want to do this. What I'm going to do is pull this out over here, and about half a centimetre along, I'm going to go up a bit higher. I'm sure you can probably guess what this will be, or if you can't right now, you will in a moment. Okay, so we want this a bit higher, I want this to go a bit further around. Then we're going to come down here, and we need our flat nose pliers. Don't use them on, they don't do it as well. Down to the bottom, and then go like this. and then we're going to create the loop here, so that it's at the same height as the opposite side. And again, you can hammer this or you can weave. I'd probably weave the love heart, maybe put some gems or something in there. But that's just a different option for you. So we could have just gone up, but as you can tell, the resistance is different in the 0.8 to the 1mm, so I'm kind of glad that I did both gauges there so you can see. But yeah, so that's how I did Mother. So yeah, let me know your thoughts below. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. And well, I hope you all have a happy Mother's Day. If you are a mum, happy Mother's Day to you. And if you are going to be celebrating with your mum, then happy Mother's Day to her. Other than that, if you could please hit that subscribe button, that would help me on my journey immensely. Otherwise, thank you all for giving me your time and energy, and I hope to see you all again soon. I love you all so much. Bye.